everyone, my name is Ahmed Mahmood and I hope you're enjoying Microsoft Ignite. Today, we want to talk to you about how to leverage AI to accelerate risk assessment and incident investigations using the solutions and newly announced capabilities in Microsoft Purview. As we all know, the data estate is growing and organizations have a responsibility to protect that data while also enabling productivity and a focus on regulatory requirements and digital safety. While AI can help simplify the protection, investigation, and response for an incident, this introduces complexity into an evaluation and assessment of risk. At Ignite, we are excited to announce new features that enable organizations to meet these growing challenges with simple tools to mitigate risk and increase productivity when responding to alerts or investigations. First, we're expanding communication compliance's capabilities to 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗃𝗃 𝗀𝗶cie, allowing it to detect risky communications in both prompts and responses, enhancing compliance, promoting respectful interactions, and identifying business conduct violations. Second, we are also announcing new ways to accelerate and automate investigations in our e-discovery solution, addressing both traditional legal scenarios and integrating SecOps requirements into the workflow to help with rapid responses to a variety of incidents. Third, we're announcing the ability to retain and delete Microsoft 365 Copilot prompts to meet your organization policies. Last, but definitely not least, Security Copilot compliance makes summarizing content and understanding content faster and more efficient with a single place to understand and respond to compliance risks. There is a lot more Microsoft Purview news that you can learn about through our other blog posts and other on-demand sessions. But here today, we will demonstrate how the Purview solutions help to create efficiency for teams that need managed risk and perform investigations. Our goal is simple. We want to empower you with tools that mitigate risk and boost productivity, whether you're responding to alerts or conducting investigations. And with that, it's time to show you the products in action, starting with how communication compliance can help detect risky Microsoft 365 Copilot prompts and responses. I'll now hand it off to Christophe, our Principal Product Manager for Communication Compliance, for a deeper dive.
Thank you, Ahmed. Before I start discussing new communication compliance innovations, I wanted to remind everyone what communication compliance does. It's a Microsoft Purview solution that helps identify potential communication violation to support a compliant and healthy work environment. Today, I'm pleased to announce that communication compliance cannot detect business conduct violations in Microsoft 365 Copilot prompts and responses. As shown on the screen, a communication compliance investigator with designated role-based access permissions can now review different Copilot interactions in Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, or Teams, to name a few, that matches your policy's condition. In this example, it matched the use of a code word for a confidential project called Dragon. We are rolling out a new dedicated communication compliance policy template so you can easily investigate and remediate Microsoft 365 Copilot interactions to ensure they are aligned with your company's code of conduct policy. Bhavanesh, can you share the updates on how e-discovery is going to help here with compliance?
Thanks, Christophe. Hi, I'm Bhavanesh Rengarajan, Principal Product Manager for e-discovery. Let me give a quick background. E-discovery is critical for organizations to identify and collect information as it might potentially be related or responsive in a case or investigation. Today, I'm pleased to announce e-discovery Premium will now have the ability to help with search, discovery, preservation, review, and export of Microsoft 365 Copilot interactions across Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, to name a few. This is going to help with adoption of Copilot, and rest assured, all these conversations are discoverable and actionable through the regular e-discovery process. Not just that, you will also have the ability to filter specific Copilot interactions as well in your query building experience, so that it is easier to scope the searches. This should not be anything new. All the Copilot interactions will be hosted inside the existing review capability, where you can filter down the necessary details as a part of review cycle. The ability to discover, preserve, review such content is critical for organizations to onboard this generative AI journey, and we are committed to delivering this compliance investment. What else are you announcing with communication compliance, Christophe?
One of the core use cases for communication compliance is to detect potential business conduct violations. And to achieve that, you need to leverage machine learning instead of keywords to understand context and properly classified data. You can now leverage Azure Content Safety state-of-the-art large language models to detect potential violence, hate speech, sexual, and self-harm content. For each category detected, we also provide a severity level to help you prioritize which alert to investigate first, 6 being the highest. Yes, these detections support multiple languages such as English, German, Japanese, Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, and Chinese. And yes, we plan to support more languages over time. In this example, you can see a team message that matched multiple categories and with a high severity of 6, thus needing my immediate attention. Note, you can easily get a translation of this message in communication compliance using the Translation tab if a policy match is not in your preferred language. Switching gears, let's go over 3 of our key innovations recently announced. First, we've released Teams Compliant Meeting, which will analyze meeting transcripts, and if it matches your favorite communication policies, it will trigger an alert. To accelerate investigation, we show you the video snippet evidence of the match as shown on this screenshot. Secondly, you can now foster a safe and compliant Viva Engage community by empowering users to report inappropriate conversation in Viva Engage, which then gets investigated in communication compliance. Lastly, you can leverage our Purview advanced data classification patterns to detect the following: credentials, name entities such as full name, physical addresses, and exact data match such as specific credit card or social security number. Bhavanesh, why don't you walk us through all the items that you have coming up for eDiscovery?
Sure, Christophe. We are excited to announce the following items. We have heard from customers how important Teams meeting and recordings are. In today's hybrid workplace, now, when Teams meeting recordings are potentially relevant to an investigation, the transcript is automatically extracted for additional searching and reviewing. This helps admins already struggling with data explosion to quickly assess if the meeting is relevant and use the transcript as a cliff note to avoid needing to watch the entire meeting recording to assess relevance to the investigation at hand. Essentially, doing more with less. Next, identifying and collecting Teams' private and shared channel content has been a significant challenge for eDiscovery users. This complexity arises from various storage locations used for Teams content, which are scattered across Exchange, OneDrive for Business, and SharePoint Online. This September, we announced Teams as a non-custodial data location. This will help streamline and accelerate the process of identifying, preserving, and searching Teams channel content, helping you to get quickly to the evidence. In August, we rolled out Guest Reviewer. This feature enables secure and convenient reviewer access to external collaborators to review set within eDiscovery Premium case. This feature empowers eDiscovery Premium admins and managers to follow more traditional collaboration practices that will boost confidence and workflow defensibility by allowing outside counsel to collaborate in place to help reduce the cost and risk associated with exporting a large amount of sensitive content to external parties. Don't take the data out if you don't need to. We are also super excited to announce the following. Imagine this scenario. It may not be such a leap for some of you. An employee in your organization either intentionally or accidentally overshares sensitive data to a broad audience. Turns out, this data is very intriguing to many employees in the organization. Perhaps it has to do with payroll or secure credentials, and the content is quickly shared further, resaved to other locations, and proliferates rapidly into unsecure and unknown locations across your organization. We are introducing Data Security Investigations Experience, whereby you can use eDiscovery as a data security analyst to quickly collect relevant evidence uncover hidden insights to connect the dots around the actual story around the incident, as well as confirm the evidence and take bulk action on the evidence to mitigate the data security risk to the organization. From this, the data security analyst admin can launch an investigative search using inputs such as unique identifiers like message or document ID, upload an audit activity log, or sample evidence files for analysis and auto query to find similar or related content. In this case, the search is kicked off around the sensitive content that has been overshadowed, and a quick view of the evidence sprawl is provided to inform the level of risk and appropriate next steps. You can see here, investigation statistics view will now help the data security analyst understand where all the sensitive information has traveled, how many persons of interest have access to this content, and how many data source locations, such as SharePoint sites, now contain this data. Now that the admin has a handle on the sprawl related to this sensitive data, the next steps is to review and confirm that the files are in fact the sensitive content in question, and then take steps to mitigate the risk. Apply protection or preservation, export the content, or purge it from the system completely if a data spill is cited. Bringing all the pieces together so that the data security incidents can be remediated efficiently. Next, Microsoft Forms are an important way organizations stay connected with their audiences, including employees, customers, and partners, and are used by many large organizations globally. Until now, Forms data has been difficult to find, review, and manage, especially to understand the original form and the responses to that. Now the administrators with eDiscovery permissions can search for Microsoft Forms content specifically using conditions within the query builder, and review the original form and their responses as related items within the review set and maintain that grouping through export. These new capabilities will help organizations unleash the power of Forms for many more scenarios, including sensitive projects, knowing that they have confidence of comprehensive eDiscovery to support their Forms compliance requirements. All of these fantastic innovations on discovery of information hinge on a key consideration that the data still exists when you need it, which brings us to data lifecycle management product innovations. I'm excited to announce today that we are extending the support of retention and deletion policies in data lifecycle management to Microsoft 365 Copilot prompts and responses. Retention policies on Copilot interactions will ensure that you have complete control over the preservation of your users' conversation with Copilot, either retaining them to ensure compliance with organizational policies or deleting them to reduce your risk. What's even better about today's announcement is that you don't need to do anything to leverage retention policies for Copilot. Your existing Microsoft Teams chat messages policies will automatically extend to Copilot prompts and responses, including preserving the version of files shared by you as links to Copilot, making sure you have a full context of the interaction when you need it. Christophe, none of our conversations end today without our work with respect to Copilot. What would you like to share regarding that?
Let's now talk about another set of innovations we're introducing in Microsoft Purview solutions to accelerate time to value, thanks to generative AI. You can now leverage Security Copilot in communication compliance to reduce the time it takes to investigate a communication compliance alert by providing a contextual summary. Let me show you how this works. In this example, I'm investigating a communication compliance policy match, and we have a verbose Teams recording transcripts which contains lots of words. Instead of scrolling through the entire transcripts and spending several minutes to understand the exact context of the alert and to decide if this Teams meeting represents a risk to my organizations or not, I can simply click on the Summarize Security Copilot icon. And voila! Within seconds, we show the investigator a contextual summary of the alert based on the conditions set in the communication compliance policy. I can further leverage Security Copilot by using either pre-built prompts or by using an open text prompt to get an understanding of the alert and decide what to do next. Back to you, Bhavanesh.
Thanks, Christophe. We are excited to introduce Security Copilot in eDiscovery Premium. Search is one of the most difficult and time-intensive workflows in an investigation, and an accurate search helps to get to the bottom of the results that are crucial for the success of an investigation. Traditionally, in eDiscovery, a search happens through the input of a query in keyword query language. While some advanced eDiscovery users are adept at creating KQL queries, many beginner and intermediate users need to go through a learning curve to understand query construction, the supported properties for mailboxes and sites, and the search operators. With Security Copilot, users can now provide a prompt in natural language and get a query in keyword query language that they can then either use as is or use to build onto their existing query. With Security Copilot, your search interactions will become faster and more accurate. Let's make this real with an example. John, who is a fairly new paralegal, received brief instruction from his manager to start an eDiscovery investigation based on data loss prevention alerts. To begin the journey, he can look into suggested prompts to start understanding how to craft his natural language query. In this case, his needs are slightly complex. John was told that in early 2023, a high-risk employee named Ann Keating updated some confidential documents created in 2021 about a secret project. John lands on the eDiscovery page and is clueless how to structure the search. He starts typing everything he knows about the case in natural language. John uses refined prompt to see how he can improve his prompt to get a more accurate query output. Security Copilot refines the prompt that John can choose to further edit. It provides synonyms of the word secret for John to select and scope the search. It also expands the dates so John can provide accurate dates. Further, Security Copilot defines the size of the document for the query value input that John can update. Now, John proceeds to use Security Copilot to generate a query within seconds that would have otherwise taken him longer to draft from scratch. With such Copilot capabilities, it reduces the entry bar into a product such as eDiscovery to press the accelerator on productivity. For the last but not the least, we know that eDiscovery admins often spend a lot of time going through the list of evidences collected in review sets. This takes away close to 60% of their time. We are super excited to introduce summarization with Security Copilot. Users can request quick summaries of documents, whereby they can also choose from suggested prompts that they will help save the user time and effort involved in reading through lengthy documents to mark a document as responsive or unresponsive to the case. Let's take a look at this scenario. John, who is an investigator at Fabricam, is investigating Megan Bowen, a sales executive who is suspected to have shared confidential contractual information with a competitor, causing Fabricam to lose a huge contract to ContoServe. While you saw the creation of case and generation of search is all becoming easier, this capability would light up in the review pane where he finds a Teams chat with Megan. He clicks on Summarize with Copilot. He has options to select from the list of suggested prompts, which could potentially help clarify the case. In this case, John decides to type in a question. Is there any indication of sharing this contract with another person? You can now see Security Copilot's response to John's question. Now, John tags the document as responsive to the situation. The aim here is to accelerate and augment the review process to be faster and accurate by bringing in-place Security Copilot assistance. This is just the beginning of our commitment to help accelerate eDiscovery and data security investigations. Please read through the blog for more details. Over to you, Ahmed.
Thank you, Bhavanesh and Christophe. And thank you for joining us today as we explore the power of AI in accelerating risk assessment and data security investigations using Microsoft Purview. Our session is just one piece of the puzzle, and there's a wealth of knowledge to be gained from other on-demand sessions at Ignite. As we've seen, Microsoft Purview is at the forefront of data protection, and it goes hand in hand with a broader vision across all sessions to secure, govern, and harness data potential across cloud environments. So continue your Ignite journey, dive into these sessions, and together, let's shape a future where data remains safe, compliant, and a catalyst for innovation.